Welcome, 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 everyone, to another amazing episode of Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and I have the honor of being able to interview trailblazers and community leaders. And tonight is just another amazing person. She is the queen of spoken word. She's not only a poet, she's also an author, an actor, and a speaker. And so let's just ask her straight from her, who is Georgia Me. So without further ado, let's bring on Miss Georgia Me. How are you this evening?
I am wonderful, Coach Stephanie. How are you doing?
I am feeling fabulous. Thank you for asking. And thank you for being here tonight. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I've met you a couple of years ago and you were just amazing and you're just flawless. I really appreciate you understanding the power of the pen and just being able to speak your voice and be your true self. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm grateful to God that He chose me to do this job. I didn't know I was gonna be a poet. I thought I was gonna be a nurse. I thought I was gonna be a lawyer. Then I was gonna be a teacher. And God said, "You're gonna be it all through poetry." Because as a poet, I am everything. I get to be a teacher, a preacher, a lawyer, a healer, a counselor, a comedian. You know what I'm saying? And I get to be a scholar. You know what I mean? It's just the best of all worlds. So yeah, I'm too grateful that I'm too grateful that I went to a summer camp here in Atlanta called Camp Best Friends. And my drama teacher gave me Nikki Giovanni's Ego Tripping. I was 8 years old and I've been a lover of poetry ever since.
Wow. You just never know. Wow, that is amazing. I never knew that. So for those who don't know, who is Georgia Me?
Well, Georgia Me is my stage name, but it's this girl named Tamika Harper from the west side of Atlanta who went to Washington High, who is a proud ATLian, loves Black people, loves people in general, is a scholar, carries God and promotes God and pushes God and endorses God and empowers God in everybody and everything that I do. That don't mean perfect. That mean righteous. Because I'm Jesus' little sister. I still will bust you in your face. God working on me. Okay? But I am a grateful child who was raised with love on the west side of Atlanta and who never saw the hood as a bad thing, but as being from the hood empowered me to not be scared, period. I can go anywhere on the earth and had to fight to be me. So I'm convicted in who I am. And I thank God for that. And that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't from the west side of the ATL Zone 1, shouted. It wouldn't have happened. So that's who I am. A little hood girl who's a nerd, raised by some country good folk who love Black people. That's Georgia Me.
What, were you ever shy?
I'm not shy, but I'm always nervous.
Okay. But that's cool. That's normal.
Yeah. I'm always nervous.
They said Johnny Carson would regurgitate before every episode. Johnny Carson. So, I mean, I've heard that that's normal. If you don't have butterflies, something's wrong, right?
I feel like my nerves keep me on point. It means I don't take it for granted. I'm so grateful for every opportunity, and I just want it to be the best it can be. And not just in when I'm doing spoken word, I'm more nervous or might be shy in rooms that I feel are contrived or girl, I be called these rooms with all these celebrities and they be fake and they don't know and they're not being themselves. I got to get up out of there because I don't want to be in that environment. So other than that, the earth is my home. I'm comfortable everywhere I am. You hear what I'm saying? And I want every child of God to know their dominion. This is your earth. It's our job to protect it, to take care of it, and not to lord, but to preserve and curate and love. So yeah, girl, we ain't scared around here.
Ooh, I love it. So how did you get involved in acting and speaking?
Well, I mean, I've always, like I said, I was introduced at 8 years old, and then it became a passion of mine to learn about all of the poets. And then the poets led me to the activists. You know, I became a much greater fan of Malcolm X through poetry, reading about him. And I'm a child in Atlanta. So, you know, we children of the King. We love us from Dr. Martin Luther King, you know. So him being a speaker, I was asked at 13 years old to play Martin Luther King. I wish I would have did it. Girl, yeah. I wish I would have did it because I was the best speaker. You hear this voice? I've been sounding like a man since I was 10. So, but it's not sounding like a man. It's a strong woman. You hear me?
Right.
And so just doing everything, every opportunity came up. My teachers, thank God for the good teachers. Thank God for the vessels that see lights in children and push to brighten it. I'm so blessed. Shout out to Miss E, Miss Smith, Dr. Gaucher, Miss Hill, Miss Dennis, Miss Head, Mr. Jackson, Miss Byron, rest in peace. My only white teacher, Miss what was that lady name? God, I can't think of her name right now. I hate it. She was my only Lipinski, whatever her name was. She called me her little Barbara Jordan. That's what she called me. Okay, look, that I've always had an expectation, so I didn't let people down, and I wanted to fulfill it. These were my heroes. Barbara Jordan. When I learned about her at 10 years old, this big woman from Texas who had put the fear of God in these white politicians. That me. You know what I'm saying? So I've just all my life. So like with poetry, when I was working, I was in college, and my coworker, I used to work for the Gallup poll. Do you ever heard of Gallup poll? According to 60% of Americans, Donald Trump is doing a horrible job. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That was us. And my coworker, she went to Spelman, and she was a wonderful young lady. Her name's Felicia Evans. I still talk to her to this day. And I read my poetry to my coworkers because I had been with a gentleman, and he didn't call me back, and that had never happened to me. And it made me analyze my whole life and what I was doing. So I read the poem to my coworkers, and she in particular said, "You need to go read this in front of people. You need to go read this at this poetry spot." And I was like, I ain't saying this in front of nobody. I told y'all he ain't, you know, like, but after about 6 months, I got up the courage to go to the poetry spot. My whole job went. It was like everybody just clocked out. Tamika going to, girl, it was about 50 people because I worked at a call center. And I always been popular. You know what I'm saying? So I go, and I'm shaking with the paper in my hand. Shaking.
Yeah.
And I do it, and standing ovation. Everybody in the room lit up. And I went outside, and I started praising God. And a girl came up to me and said, "I'm gonna put some clothes on." I said, "What?" She said, "When I go to the club, because of your poem, I'm gonna put some clothes on."
Wow.
And I realized in that moment, wow, I have the power to affect people.
Yeah.
So I asked God right there. I said, "If you allow me to do this, I will speak anywhere and everywhere you say. Just get me out of Atlanta and help me take care of my family." And boy, did he do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been on ever since. So all the opportunities came from that. Like going on Deaf Poetry. My goal was to do every stage in Atlanta. Then my goal was to do every stage in America. Then my goal was to do every major stage in the world. You know, I ain't done the Sydney Opera House yet, but I have done the largest venue in Europe. I have done the assembly rooms in South Africa. What did I do in London? I just hung out in London and had a lot of lovers. That's what I did in London.
Wonderful. What a life. What a life. Oh, wow. Wow. Just naturally. Wow. Wow. So what inspires you to write? How do you start putting your pen to paper?
I tell people all the time, I write by inspiration or desperation. And what I mean by that is if something hitting me, my soul, I can't sleep. It's on my mind. I can't get it off, or it just on me. It's gonna come out. But then there's the desperation where I got an assignment and I need to have something done by a certain day for a certain project, and I got to get it out. But if it ain't right, it's not gonna come. That's just what it is. Like, I had to say, I need an extra day, I need an extra week, because it just didn't come. And I'm a poet. A poet feels, a writer writes. I can write you something.
Right.
But it ain't gonna be all of me, most authentic. And I feel good about it being not only delivered by me, but other people can deliver it. You feel me? Exactly. I just don't write the right. So yeah, that's how it comes for me, girl. I be like, Lord, I be crying sometimes when I be writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to write this. I don't want to realize this. I don't want to know this. I don't want to be accountable to this. But God say, nah, you know better. Write it.
Well, writing is very therapeutic, first and foremost.
It is. You know, even after, and I want to say this to any writers, even after you write your work, it does not mean you're through with that ordeal.
Oof, that's true. That's true. That's acknowledging.
I girl, when I tell you, I forget, girl. I was dealing with this young man. I ain't had no business dealing with this young man, but I had to read. I was watching myself. I did Martin Luther King weekend with Rodney Perry at the biggest comedy club in America on the East Coast. Hold like 600 people. Ooh. And I'm watching it because they record every show you do. We had 5 shows that weekend. And I'm listening to myself. And I'm like, wow. He didn't even fit your own requirements. I didn't even listen to my own work in dealing with this man. And when I listened to it, I was like, dang, I healed myself with my own work that I've been had, but wasn't listening to myself. Right. And that's my thing about my work. I tell all artists, all poets, do your work. Because if your work not working, you masturbating. You the only one getting off.
That's true. Wow, you have a way with words. So let me ask you this. When you mentioned how you got on stage and you cried tears and your hands were shaking, that was, going out on faith. So what made you step out of your comfort zone when you know you were trembling, but what gave you that extra energy, that push to get past the comfort zone?
I'm a Sag. We run toward the fire.
Yes, you all do. Yes, you all do. That explains. Okay.
We run toward. You got to conquer your fears. Otherwise, you'll be controlled by them.
Ooh, that's true. That is so true. Yeah. Wow. And so do you speak only on poetry, or do you speak on other things? Do you offer workshops, or what's the speaking part to Georgia Me? Okay. A better question for me is, tell me more about the Westmore Drive. What is that about?
Well, Westmore Drive is a street I've stayed on since I was 10 years old and still stay. I have moved down the street I moved next door to my own house, and I moved back. Red Storm, who's a poet, lived in this house. Teresa the Songbird lived with me. Tasha Jones, Emma Green, Bird Williams, Divine Rhymes, Pashina Nicole. The list goes on and on and on of artists who have stayed either at my house or my mama's house. And then Red moved from my house to an apartment down the street, to a house 2 doors down, to the townhouse on the. He's lived at every kind of dwelling on Westmore Drive. And at some point, a bitch moved in 2020. And we just be together all the time. We're really great friends. All of us are really great friends. And we be together all the time. And we started recording at Red House because this awesome producer came into our lives named Superhood. And I was like, well, let's just make this a compilation album. You know, we all gonna have our own albums, but let's do something Westmo Drive. And then we made that the label, and we put out an amazing project. Like, everybody who heard it is like, why I ain't never heard this? And I'm like, really? Because we poets are horrible promoters. Like, that's really what it is. Because, or at least we are. Not all the poets. We are some horrible promoters. We just want to perform. But the project is beautiful. It is not only me, Georgia Me, Abyss Graham, Tommy Bottoms, Red Storm, Teresa the Songbird, Big Rube, C-Bone Jones, Mr. Rodney, Jaws of Life, Rewop, Shasha Martin, Crystal Dooms. I'm like, oh, missing anybody? Cola Rum, legend. Cola Rum starts out the whole album. A sister named Miss Mocha sings on it, and of course, singing the title track, Paul Rich, aka Cino, aka Cino P. The project just amazing, and we got more projects coming. Tommy is about done with his solo project. This album be coming after that. Red and Rewop and so on. So it's our version of Motown, Flowtown. You got Hitsville. You got Hitsville. We Spitsville.
Love it.
Well, I encourage everybody. If you've never heard a spoken word album, this should be your first one because it's amazing. And shout out to all the poets. Talam Ace is also on this project. To the God, Talam Ace is on this project, and he had one project that came out last year that a lot of us are on, and then he also has a project coming out soon. Queen Sheba, back to back, Grammy nominated with her project. I mean, and I was nominated this year on 2 projects as a producer and featured on Queen Sheba's album. So the poetry world is getting it in. Shout out to Jay Ivy, 2-time winner. We just doing it. We just doing it. And I want you to hear and call me, Stephanie, tell me what you think.
I sure will, definitely. So in general, can you just explain the significance of spoken word?
Well, it goes all the way back to forever. It began with the word. It began with breath and life. What we speak, we are. Christ is the spirit of prophecy. It's what you see, it's what you proclaim. And that's how we've gotten through everything. It's been this power of this word that moves the hearts of man. You feel what I'm saying? If it wasn't for people like Malcolm got your attention, Martin appealed to your heart. You feel me?
Yeah.
When we look at people like Michael Jackson, even though it's through song, it's that word. It's that word. And as a poet, I love poetry in every way it comes. Like the book of the Bible is written poetically. It's written 5 different ways, but specifically it's written poetically in certain facets of the Bible. Wow. Your favorite comedian, you listen to them, they are speaking poetry. That going back, that's poetry. That to what they were talking about before. Your favorite preacher is a poet. Your favorite teacher is a poet. So it all comes from spoken word and how that can transform people. And I'm just grateful that I don't know, when I was 9, I was like, okay, this is cool with the poetry. And then as I got older, I wanted to be Martin Luther King because I wanted to change the world. And I was like, well, I can do it through law. And then I'm like, you be a politician. Just be a great person and be an example. And that will be enough to change the world. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, this spoken word is my weapon and my wealth. Totally. I fight the whole world. I fight all the ills through this pen. And I tell other poets, like, you got a weapon if you know how to use it,
Right?
And that's not just for me. That's not just for poets. That's for you. You being God when other people are being evil. Oh, that's a mighty weapon. Oh, like my shirt. I'm not going to let the devil in you stop the God in me. I live by that. So Yeah, that's what that word do for me. Like that's what it do. It's like that's how I get to fight. That's how I get to love. That's how I get to inform. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, spoken word is everything to me because sometimes people they'll read something, but they know what you mean when you say it.
That's true. That is so true. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. And tell us about the Tamika Fest.
Girl. Okay. So I don't know how many years ago, I'm in Chicago and it's
Okay.
Kanye West Day. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, Kanye deserved a day. This is many, 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 many years ago. Then I'm in Chicago and it's Jennifer Hudson Day. I was like,
Mm,
how do you get a day? Because this is when she had just done that one movie, and I'm like, ooh, a stretch. A big girl, they won't let into the industry. Ooh, she
right.
really had to work. Get on with that. Anyway, so, but I love J Hood. Love J Hood. That's just my joke. So I was being honored by the Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta as
Oh,
their Kaumba Artist of the Year on a
wow.
list with the likes of Pearl Cleage. Okay, so I'm so honored. And I get there and they got this whole ceremony. It's on Spelman's campus.
Mm.
Um, they got a choir singing to me. I thought it was for like a couple of us. It was all for me.
Oh,
They came
beautiful.
out with they came out with this portrait that these kids did. They got my friends there, and then they bring out these proclamations declaring May 4th as Tamika Georgia Me Harper Day.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
thank you. And I had I had already asked God for that. That's what I tell people. You ain't gotta tell nobody else. Just tell God, and it's gonna
Yes.
show up. Not when you
Yeah.
want it, but when it's supposed to. So I got I got the proclamation from Atlanta, East Point, College
Mm,
Park, and
wow.
Fulton County. It wasn't just one. And
That's
Fulton County. You understand me? So
okay.
so me and my friends are just sitting around. They're like, "What you gonna do for your day?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What we gonna do for the day?" And my friend says, "I've always wanted to do something like Lilith Fair. I don't know if you remember. It used to be this all-female touring music
Mm,
showcase, like
okay.
like Lollapalooza type stuff,
Right.
right?"
Understood. Yes.
So she said, "I always wanted to do something like Lilith Fair, but I want to call it Tamika Fair." And I was like, "Huh?" And she was like, "Yeah, because you know Tamika is a black girl." And I was
Mm,
like, "Okay." I said, "But I don't want that named after me. That seemed too arrogant, seemed too egotistical." She said, "How? You've done all of this. Like, you done been on Broadway. You done, why is it arrogant?" Like, I was like, "I don't know." But we went on ahead and did it. It was Tamika Fair the first 2 years. Then it became Tamika Festival. We've been everything from 3 days to 12 days. My
wow.
goal is to get it to be a month because I've done
Mm,
the biggest fringes and festivals in the world. I've done Scotland, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. I've done the biggest ones in America, in Sarasota and Cincinnati. So
mm,
this is the biggest black, unapologetically black
I like.
artistic festival in the world. It's the largest because we go
Mm,
on for many days and I have over 100 artists and activists. It's the only
woo.
place where on my State of the Hood, I'm going to have the Nation of Islam. I'm going to have Marcus Garvey, the IUNA. I'm going to have Professor Griff. I'm going to
Yeah.
have Keith Brown. I'm going to have Minister Server in the Temple of Hip Hop. I'm going to have the Black Panthers. I'm going to have this. They never together, but at Tamika Fest, they together.
That's gonna be amazing. Oh my
No,
God.
we've been doing it for, girl, we just celebrated 17 years. Next year, we
Oh,
18. Next year, we
wow.
18. And it's all through my relationships. I put together this poets and artists, and people call me from around the world. When is the festival? I only
Mm,
had sponsorship 1 year, and that was during the
what?
pandemic.
Get out of here.
So I was able to send money to all my friends during the pandemic.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
But yeah, and we celebrate us. It's unapologetically black. Every aspect of our diaspora, every aspect of our culture. We have melanin and masterpieces for the visual artists. We have the alphabet brunch for the LGBTQIA community because they never get together. I have the drag queens, the gay boys, with the girls, the dudes. I have them all. You hear me? They don't never come together, but at Tamika Fest, they together. I have Nigga Odds Night where we celebrate the black man, where they never, it's unapologetically black man, where they get to be all the man they want to be. They ain't got to tone it down. They ain't got to be scared of. No, we have Queendom Come, my beautiful sisters. We have Laughter's Good for the Soul, the best comedy show. Really, man, my comedy show be off the chain, y'all. It be so, oh my God. And then we had church, blaze, and worship in the park, Sunday morning. It was so amazing. It was so amazing that people in the park came to where I was at because I spoke and prayed over the whole neighborhood. It was just awesome. So I hope to see you there next year. Every year, Tamika Fest. And I know we ain't got much time, so I want to mention one of the places we do. Our State of the Hood is where we come up with the solutions to our lives. That's why I have the Black Panthers and everybody at. But that's at the Omenala Griot Teaching Museum, where I have a major fundraiser coming up this Saturday. And I'm so grateful and honored. Kevin Williams and his mother have provided this space for the community. We do Pilates there every Tuesday if you want to join us at 6:00. Get your body in shape. But it's been available. I mean, Dr. Umar has done things there. Like, it is such a sacred space. But when you're a sacred space, a lot of times you don't get commercial help. So it's up to us to make sure those places are cared for. And so we're doing a fundraiser this Saturday, 2 to 11. Please come out. If you want to donate, you can donate. You can send it to me, Wisdom Mama, Cash App, and I will send it directly to Kevin. We just want to do as much as we can to help with the roof and anything that need to be done structurally to the place. It's a beautiful space, and use it for your wedding, your baby shower, or you just want to have a workshop, or it's a really, really beautiful space. So
where's it located?
Girl, right there in Dargan Place in the West End. It's not far at all. It's like I can walk there from my house if I really want to walk. But but it's right in the West End off of Fair Street. It's not far. It's right in the city. A lot of parking, and it's a beautiful space. Like, they have a community garden. They do so much, and he don't ask for nothing. That's why me and this other sister named Nisa came together to try to raise money for the museum. It's beautiful.
Wow. Very interesting. Okay. Yes, I'm definitely gonna be there. Wow. So how do people do they just show up to the fundraiser, or is it anything online that they can find more information, or do you just want to
You can follow me at The Real Georgia Me on IG, and I post up what the information is, where you can donate, what's going on. All kinds of performers going to be there this Saturday, lending their talents for the Omenala. But yeah, you can just follow me at the what is my The Real Georgia Me on IG too. I'm like, what is my IG? Yeah, it's The Real Georgia Me. Girl, let me tell you. One time, Tommy Ford, rest in peace, he moved to Atlanta, and he said, I told my friends I was doing a show about poetry in Atlanta. They said, you need to get with Georgia Me. And so he said, I went looking for Georgia Me. I found Tamika Festival, Tamika Harper, Tamika Gang. I couldn't even find Georgia Me. I was like, oh my God.
Wow. Is there anything that you haven't accomplished that's on your bucket list or to-do list?
Yes, I want to be mayor of Atlanta, and that's real. I want to be mayor of Atlanta. Wow. I would like a Grammy and an Oscar. That way I would have an Emmy, a Grammy, and an Oscar, and a Tony, but I already got a Peabody and a whole Warner, so I don't even care really. But I just want everything that God wants me to have that I've envisioned as a child. You know what I'm saying? I want to work with Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I want to work with her. I want to work with Goody Mob. I perform with Goody Mob. I've done shows with Goody Mob, but I want to be on a Goody Mob project. And there are other artists that I admire. I want to work with Whoopi Goldberg. It's just certain people that I want to share space with. I want to have that time with them. But I done did a lot. Every time I say I want to do something, God bless me. So
Yeah, that's really. Now, my cousin is Malik Yosef. Have you ever heard of him?
I am on his, that's the project I'm producing on that was nominated for a Grammy this past year. Malik Youssef, God in the Game, all over
Yeah,
Kanye, wrote for Beyonce, Jay-Z.
that's
Um,
right. That's
Girl,
right.
I love your cousin. If he wasn't how he is, I'd be your cousin too. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. Wow. It's a small world. Wow. That,
not
I
in the
mean,
poetry world. If you're in the
mm,
poetry world and I don't know you, you ain't in the poetry world. That's just that's just real.
that's real. That's real. Is there anything you would like to share or anything you would like to leave as your commentary or your comments?
Uh, don't be scared. Death is
Mm.
nothing to be scared. Be scared of not living your life to the fullest.
Ooh.
That's it.
Yes,
Be scared
yes.
of leaving something here. Be scared of not your work not being done. Whatever was in your head and your vision and you ain't doing it, you are
Mm.
denying God. That's what
Ooh.
I want to.
Mm. That
Yeah,
was
that's it.
fire.
I know I be extra stuff, but it's just what it is.
That's fine. That's the essence of who you are, Georgia Me. I mean, I really appreciate you and thank you for really being on Beyond Boardroom Business. I would love for you to come back and just share more of your world of what's going on. And yeah, just congratulations again on all of your success.
Thank you, Steph. Girl, I love to come back. You'll be my Vlad TV. Just ask me questions like I'm Boosie. Like I'm Boosie up here.
Yes, yes, let's do it. Definitely. I love you, Georgia Me. Thank you.
Love
I
you too,
appreciate
Queen.
it. All
Thank
right.
you, thank you, thank you for thinking of me.
You. Of course. Most definitely. Thank you. All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I truly did. I mean, Georgia Me is just a powerful, phenomenal leader, and she's definitely standing in her calling. And I mean, definitely check out her website, which is therealgeorgia.me. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you come out Friday to her fundraiser. You can find her on Instagram at the real Georgia Me. And yeah, I'm really appreciate you all being here every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, stay prayerful, stay powerful, and stay present. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Peace.